there, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Pirates of the Caribbean is my favorite movie trilogy of all time. I even like the fourth one with Blackbeard and the mermaids, you know. Today we're going to be watching a video called The Most Misunderstood Genius in Film. It's going to be a blind reaction, not pre-watched. Let's get right into it.
Jack Sparrow in the first Pirates of the Caribbean looks insane, but it's actually
Obviously, Jack Sparrow here, my favorite character in the franchise.
all a trick.
Sorry, Captain Jack Sparrow.
From his introduction, he literally enters the movie on a sinking ship. He steals some gold. His speech
The greatest character introduction of all time. This is the greatest. This is peak. The best movie ever made. Bro, the introduction of him sailing in. Oh, man.
is slurred. Even the way he moves is slurred. But
Why
it's
is
the
the
same
rum
trick
gone?
Game of Thrones pulled on us with Jaime Lannister.
Game of Thrones, a spectacular series. You know, I watched the whole thing. I probably started watching it around season 4, thanks to South Park. Jaime Lannister here, my favorite character in the whole show. His first appearance, pushes a little boy at the window, then proceeds to fuck his sister. You know, crazy character, a great franchise, except for the last season.
Game of Thrones pulled on us with Jaime Lannister. These scenes are designed to color your first impression of these characters to keep you from the truth. Both characters are much different than they first appear, and in the case of Jack Sparrow, he has more in common with a CEO than a pirate. As goofy as he is, there is one thing he will not compromise on.
Well, well, Jack Sparrow, isn't it?
Captain Jack Sparrow, if you please, sir.
Well, I don't see your ship. Captain?
I'm in the
the
market,
market.
as it were.
Jack has no ship or crew, yet insists on calling himself captain. This insistence allows you to really lean on your past accomplishments. He used to be captain, so he's a captain forever. This is why titles are so important. They're leverageable. The fact that he was mute
I will say, these movies, they're really corny, and they're really cheesy when you watch them again. But Johnny Depp's performance still carries it, you know? Just saying. I rewatch these movies religiously, bro, like once a year minimum.
and marooned on an island left for dead does not matter to his captain status, because he defines who he is. And there's another great example of this from The Social Network.
You're unemployed.
I wouldn't say that.
What would you say?
That I'm an entrepreneur.
You're a zillionaire.
Not technically.
What are you?
Broke.
In a strange way, these are both the same situation. Broke, enemies everywhere, and yet the ambitious pursuit of greatness and notoriety are driving every action. And it all stems from identity. Identity they assign themselves. Proving that identity right means failures are not defining. They are just temporary setbacks on the path that will be realized. That is a CEO mindset. But what really sets Jack apart is his ability to take advantage of other people's predictability.
What's your name?
Will Turner.
That would be short for William, I imagine.
With this one new piece of information, Will's name, he sees exactly how he can get the thing he wants most.
One of the things I said in the first YouTube video I ever uploaded to this channel was, don't let other people's, don't let the way other people view you change the way you view yourself. You know, you can't let people get to you like that. You know, you gotta know who you are, and then just be true to yourself and be true to that.
In the world, the Black Pearl. Here is what Jack knows right now. Will is willing to do anything for the kidnapped Elizabeth, including working with pirates who he despises in order to save her. He knows Will's blood will lift the curse on Barbossa and his crew, and if he plays his cards just right, he'll get close enough to Barbossa to fire his one shot, completing his revenge for the mutiny. Understanding incentives people will respond to is the first step to leveraging them, but this big picture thinking goes beyond that and is brilliant. Jack is more methodical, and he doesn't really have a drafted plan. Instead, he knows what he wants and adjusts everything else around it. And so far, it's paying off. Regardless of his mannerisms or his silliness, there is
Always know what you want, chat. If you know where you're aiming, you're gonna have a much higher chance of hitting the right thing. You know, because if you don't even know what you want to shoot, then how do you even know how to hit it? You know, you gotta know where you're aiming.
no mistake. The man is a genius, but no matter how hard you work or who you leverage, there is one thing that every CEO needs to be successful, and that's transformative adaptation.
Man, I think the CGI still looks so great, in my opinion. I remember I was like 4 or 5 the first time I saw this on the Mexican TV channel. I swear, I had this TV channel as a kid. I'd like flip through channels, and one of the channels, it would just have Pirates of the Caribbean in Spanish 24/7. I'd watch it. Maybe like 2-3 years later, I found like websites to watch all the movies on. But until then, it was just I was watching Jurassic Park. Man, I was watching good movies.
That's interesting.
Jack knows there is no way he will captain the Black Pearl with Barbossa alive. which aligns with his goal to deliver poetic justice to a man who marooned him on an island with one shot after taking his ship. But none of this can happen without going all in. Jack ghoulifies himself to fight on even ground with Barbossa. The symbolism here is so clean. If he was unwilling to transform, to change, he would have failed right here. Throughout the movie, Jack takes many opportunities as they come, but true adaptation means changing who you are. But this is again another trick. The true transformation happens when Jack takes the shot.
This scene was so cold, bro. This was a Death Note moment.
This is the only person in the film Jack kills. He decided long ago he was going to do it, but actually doing it is another thing entirely. Now, it has to be said, he was a pirate for a very long time, and may have done some dastardly deeds in the past. But if we just go by what we see in the film, this is the first time he made a decision for another person. He leverages people, yes. Puts people in danger, sure. But he always makes an offer. He gives people a choice. This shot takes away Barbossa's choice, and in turn, Jack transforms from a plucky pirate to a dark trickster. His promised revenge found its mark, but his victory is short-lived, as he is quickly captured. But Jack is not alone in his transformation. Someone else was watching him the whole time.
Jack Sparrow! Be it known that you have been charged...
Captain Jack Sparrow.
I understand that. I get why some people might not like Pirates 4. I liked Pirates 4. But Pirates 2 and 3 are peak, bro. I think 2 is the one where the intro is like them stuck on with the indigenous tribe. If you know, you know.
Jack prepares to face the Royal Navy's justice. It turns
Man, I remember they'd play Pirates on Cartoon Network back in the day too.
out his effort has earned him some goodwill. That goodwill attempts a rescue. Will spent time with Jack and got to see firsthand Jack's actions and decisions unfolding in a world he never knew. No longer a lowly blacksmith, Will saw what the real world is like and watched Jack navigate his way through it. He saw that the quality of a pirate, or rather the quality of a man, is in his character.
He's a pirate and a good man.
Will stands with Jack, and Elizabeth stands with Will. The grip of this situation loosens just enough for Jack to escape. After a short swim, he joins his crew and returns to his long-awaited position as Jack Sparrow, captain of the Black Pearl.
Bring me that horizon.
Jack's journey began on a sinking ship with no crew, no real ship, and no allies. But what he had was a clear picture of what he wanted, an understanding of everyone standing between him and it, and the willingness to become whatever the moment required. His path was messy. There was plenty of room for doubt. But doubt requires a gap between who you are and who you're trying to convince yourself to be. Jack never had that gap. He wasn't performing the role of captain. He is captain. He's captain on a sinking boat, in a jail cell, standing on a gallows. The title wasn't something he was working toward. It was the fixed point that everything else moved around. That's what makes him one of the most misunderstood geniuses in film. And it's worth asking,
damn,
what would change if you operated the same way?
Holy
Not
shit.
the leveraging or the scheming, but that
The whole time, everybody thinks he's some kind of drunken fool and a bum. But, like, bro, he's just trying to get his ship back. He's Captain Jack Sparrow. Don't play with my mans. What are you talking about, you know?
fixed point, the version of yourself that isn't contingent on the outcome. Imagine your version of Captain Jack Sparrow. Thanks for watching.
What did he say?
Point.
Isn't on the outcome?
The title wasn't something he was working toward. It was the fixed point that everything else moved around. That's what makes him one of the most misunderstood geniuses in film. And it's worth asking, what would change if you operated the same way? Not the leveraging or the scheming, but that fixed point.
I'm Mark. I'm PDX Mark. I'm Mark_Natsu. Follow me on Twitch. I'm like gonna be like super popular. I'm gonna be super Googled. I'm a rapper. I'm Wolf Skull. Oh baby, I'm the Wolf Man. No comment. I gotta drop that song immediately now. Yeah, dude, let's go. Let's get it. I mean, subscribe. Drop a like.
Version of yourself that isn't contingent on the outcome.
The version of yourself that isn't contingent on the outcome. What does contingent even mean? Contingent primarily means dependent on something else to happen, uncertain or group of people representing a larger body. The word contingent primarily means dependent on some. So.
And it's worth asking, what would change if you operated the same way? Not the leveraging or the scheming, but that fixed point. The version of yourself that isn't contingent on the outcome. Imagine your version of Captain Jack Sparrow. Thanks for watching.
man, I really want to understand what this YouTube channel here is trying to say. Everything influence. I need to become a version of me that doesn't care what the outcome is, or I can't let like my past mistakes stop me or something, or I can't let anybody else define me. Always pirate mindset, captain mindset, Captain Jack Sparrow. Everybody thought he was a bum.
Jack Sparrow in the first Pirate.
Everybody thought he was a bum. Everybody treated him like garbage, right? This guy, he said, the worst pirate I've ever seen, right?
Compromise on.
Well, well. Jack Sparrow, isn't it?
Captain Jack Sparrow, if you please, sir.
Well, I don't see your ship. Captain?
I'm in the market, as it were.
So look, bro, basically this is going to be you trying to do anything. This is going to be you saying, I am the captain. I'm Captain Jack Sparrow. And this is going to be the universe and the world. And the universe and the world's going to be like, oh yeah, well, no you're not. Where's your ship? You got to be like, I'm in the market. You know what I'm saying? This is going to happen to you all the time in life. You're going to be like, I'm a YouTuber. They're going to be like, no you're not. Your videos suck. And I'm be like, well, they're getting better every day. You know what I mean? Like, pretty much. Captain mindset. Peace and blessings. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Leave a like and subscribe. Stay tuned for more awesome content.
Making most money, like what could go wrong? 'Cause I know you've been jamming to my song.